Turbo E36. We haven't really done much with it lately. I mean, it's been winter. It's also not my car. Now, I kind of act like it's my car, and I mean, I feel like it's a part of me now. I've had it for so long here and done so much to it, but this car is going to the USA now. So Buddy is going through the process, or I'm going through the process with Buddy to get this thing on a ship and out of Poland. We have to drain the tank, or I'll go over the whole shipping stuff later, but we haven't been driving it because it works. It's pretty much done. It doesn't really have much more to be done to it, besides like some refinement. He's probably going to put it on a link and like do a bunch of stuff new in the USA style probably, but for the most part, like, it just needs a lot of tuning for the transmission that he'll also get done there by people that know how to tune these better than us. So it does have the 8 HP little display module for it there, and then the drive program dial. So right now it's like running a base map from Turbo E36. You can see here we have the cables going to there, the ECU cable that goes to our ECU master, EMU black, and then we got the TCU that goes to our Turbo E36 unit, and so they're connected in the stock area. Here's the map sensor line that goes in there. It uses like all of the stock harness plumbing. That could probably be tucked a little better, but our friend made this entire harness from scratch, and it's been holding up really well. It's really good quality. There's a couple things here that have not been fully utilized. So here we got the boost controller, which currently does not actually change the amount of boost that the car gets, because we need to drill into here and add a port there for it to work, which I don't know why this turbo doesn't just have that, but our feed is all the way over there. That was not my planning or doing, but anyway, so we were supposed to redo that and we just didn't really get around to it. Right now the setup makes 400 wheel horsepower essentially, or like more like probably more like 360 to the wheels and then 380 to the rear hubs on 0.9 bar. Maybe now when it's cold makes a little more, but it has D-Works 1000cc injectors, throttle body from an F10. I forget from which model, but from an F10. A lot of Turbo Works things from M Tuning, Mishimoto radiator coolant expansion tank. This was lost, so I had to custom make this bracket, and with this tube we had to orient this way, so that's why this is all the way it is. I'm not really sure what he's going to want to change more, or what the overall plan is. He might, like, for all I know, he might sell this engine, put a different one in, maybe an LS swap. You know, USA is good for LS swaps. But everything's been conserved, like preserved, whatever, on this car. It's in good condition, it works well. It has a power steering cooler, the intercooler, and a transmission cooler right there. So it has a lot of cooling. The 8 HP obviously, oh shit, I forgot to close the door and that dude drove by. I'm a dick. I'm a terrible neighbor. I'm so sorry, neighbors. Anyway, that's our oil feed for the turbo. That's all from K64. There is even a poly steering bushing down there, even a little Turbo Works hose right here. M50 intake manifold. The whole intercooler kit is, I believe, from K64 as well. And then it's a TurboWorks intercooler, or it's a TurboWorks intercooler kit. I'm not really positive on that. That was already bought when I got onto this project. China turbo. I know it's like a 3060 something. Maybe not, maybe it's a 70. So not really positive on the turbo size, but it is a K64 China turbo. And on 1.7 bar, this car did make 470 hub to the hub, I believe, or 480 to the hub. So, but that was way out of this turbo's efficiency range. It was pretty much just a blow dryer at that point. This manifold, even on 0.9, in our previous videos, you can see it glowing red from so much boost. So there is some refinement to be done. If this was my car, I would personally do a new manifold, new turbo, do the proper boost controller setup, and probably just run it how it is otherwise, because everything else works great. I would add an oil cooler because the oil temps get a little hot when you're like on the highway, because the one weird thing with this 8HP is that it does honestly generate a lot of heat. You get a lot of heat here. You can see it there reading like, I don't know, 80 degrees Celsius on a hot summer day, but it usually sticks to around 70-ish, something like that. When you're on the highway, you have to kind of constantly be on throttle and giving this car load, because the 8HP like takes so much load. So you're kind of always and constantly in boost, and that turbo as well, because it's not a very efficient turbo, and that manifold is already glowing red. That turbo is almost red hot inside, and that oil is getting red hot, and it's going straight back into the motor, and it's not going anywhere to really cool itself off besides the coolant. When if you watch a couple of our older videos where we took these cars for drives, when we took it through the mountains for a wedding, this car, we did have to stop like 3 times when the coolant temp got to like 112, 113 or something like that, and we just had to stop and let it chill off, because it wasn't actually getting that hot like in the radiator and stuff, but it was saying that it was that hot, and just didn't want to risk it or anything. So maybe doing a better fan shroud as well, that would probably help a lot to actually pull this air. But this is straight from Mishimoto, so this is how they intend this to work. Not really sure how, but there are also like these flaps that go along here that are missing, that an OEM E36 has, and those funnel a lot of air straight into the radiator. This car is not a drift car, so it doesn't have to worry about side air. We're just worrying about the front air. So I say oil cooler, maybe a better fan shroud, or double another fan like on this side, because it would fit. It'd be kind of hard and annoying to get the fan in and out, but it would fit. So yeah, besides the cooling, the slight cooling upgrades I would do, and then the new like just turbo setup to keep that more efficient and make more power, everything else honestly works really good in here, at least in my opinion. Obviously there's a few other things that could be refined, but there's no point in just throwing money away. The M50 B20 manifold is one thing where it's good enough, but to make some like real power, we would want the B25 manifold with the bigger runners, because these are still pretty small, but they make good torque, good mid-range. I mean, I would prefer like some more top end maybe, like, or I don't know. This thing's pretty fun to drive. It has a lot of top end, but I just feel personally like the mid-range, I don't know. I like M50 B25 manifolds, the way they sound. This thing sounds pretty good too. You guys can be the judge of that, I guess, though, whether you think it sounds good or not. Things running nice and smooth again. When I fired it up after a little bit of hibernation, she didn't want to idle like normal. She was idling at like 400 RPM, and power steering was making some noises. Now it ain't. It works flawlessly. It does have a brand new steering rack in this, and I don't know why, but the C-clip on the input shaft, I'll insert footage here. Okay, so, and if you see that, right out of the steering column, where it goes into the steering rack. It actually was popped up a little bit, so I had to like use a small screwdriver and around the edges like hammer it in so that it would go back down, seal, and then we bled the system. It's all good. We checked the map sensor and a few other little things, and it is running good now. It's fully warmed up. Yesterday when it fully warmed up, it just wanted to like shut off. I'm not really sure why. I know the gauges aren't working right now, but that's normal. See, there we go. They always just do that. So yeah, this thing's ready to go to America, pretty much. Besides that, everything else seems good. I really like this car. I'm kind of sad to see it go, honestly. There's been a lot of fun times in it, a couple cool road trips, just vibing with the sunroof open, the turbo spooling. It's not really much better experiences to be had, especially when you got Trevor like behind you or in front of you in his turbo coupe as well. Just honestly a super fun part of the experience with these cars, and I'm more thankful than I ever really could be to Buddy for this experience and everything, and allowing me to be a part of this. And I'm really happy I got to film it and show you guys, because this car has been here from the very beginning, from the point that I joined onto this project, when the car was just literally a bare chassis with nothing really in it. This fucking random dude. Anyway, so yeah, it was just a bare chassis with not really anything in it, and now it runs, drives, and does a whole lot of other stuff. I'm sure it would actually, I know it drifts good too. The LSD works good. I've slid it a little bit on when it was a little wet out. Just had to give it a little more gas, and the back end kicks out. Or if you're doing a full throttle pull, you can feel it kind of like getting squirrely on you. And if you go back through some of our videos, you'll see this car's entire journey from beginning to finish, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and continue to enjoy it. Hopefully in the future, this would be crazy cool if we could go to the USA, to Texas, see this thing after Buddy's like put his touch to it, because he's really just had other people touching it the entire time. So he's got a cool ass garage. Maybe we can get a video of it in the garage once it's landed, and he can like be like, hey, the car made it, and then him driving it or whatever, getting retuned. I think that'd be a cool little thing. That'll be like 6 months from now. So it's gonna be a long time for this car to get there to the USA. We're gonna have to drain the tank and leave it at 5 liters of fuel, as well as get rid of any loose things in the interior. Even this like air freshener will have to be taken out. So I don't know, I was thinking about maybe putting some of these stickers on his car to have the memory, and then if he hates them, he can peel them off. But I also don't want to do that to a guy and just put random stickers on someone else's car. They are stickers from companies that we bought parts from and stuff though, so it kind of fits. But let me know in the comments what you think about putting stickers on other people's cars. yeah, this car, it helped me get a job at M Tuning. Mateusz Habrat filmed a video of us driving in it. You can check that out on his channel too. This car's really connected a lot of people. A lot of people have been around it. A lot of people have seen it, experienced it. Honestly, a really cool project to be a part of and share. The 8HP, as popular as people think it would be, is not that popular. This is my first time ever driving in an 8HP car, like this, at least, like a Turbo E36 like this. Almost everybody that gets in this thing, this is also their first experience with something like this, and it creates a very, very interesting experience. Obviously, no clutch pedal, so it's just an automatic car, but with the gear changes, the 8 speeds, and the turbo and the added horsepower, it is quite the experience. So I think one of my favorite features on this car, it's got 2 keys. Okay, you see that right there? It's gonna flicker a little bit, but the Gauge S, this is the coolest thing ever. Right away, got our EGTs, oil pressure, AFR, oil temp, input volts, and then using this stock right here, you double click and you can change all your stats, or you can go to a different screen. Here we got intake air temp, speed, RPM, trip, economy, the gear stuff for the transmission, the ignition, fuel injector stuff, TPS, how much the TPS is opening. I usually just genuinely drive it in this. So this gauge, it works with the ECU Master CAN bus system. So it all communicates together and keeps this thing happy. Well, at least lets us know if it's happy, I guess. So that gauge is a very cool diagnostic and just information system. You can also play Snake on it, which is ridiculously cool. But kind of works as one of those link CAN gauges or something like that, but it fits in the stock dash where the M3 oil pressure would go. So really cool little touch. You can't really see it, but there is a PMC adapter plate down there for the M52 8HP swap. All right, so back here we have our 315 LSD from an M3. You can see the red or the Strong Flex red bushings everywhere, subframe, everything. Everything's been powder coated down here. It's got a full 3-inch exhaust with just one muffler down there. Some Turbo Works coilovers. See the brand new brakes from this side too. All brand new brake lines everywhere, brand new fuel lines everywhere. Everything's been undercoated as well and protected. This thing is rust free, which is pretty cool. And then it's got a custom drive shaft and a custom transmission cross member. Maybe we can see it. No, we can't, but there's the muffler, Turbo Works muffler. So if there's anything you want to see with this car, anything that you want to ask about it, any questions about the build, anything like that that I can answer, let us know in the comments. We will be filming like a goodbye video with this thing right before it heads off to port. Got to clean it nicely and stuff for them too, get it all readied up. So whatever kind of questions, things you want to know, anything you want to see us do with it still, because we have kind of like one last chance to film a cool video with it and show you guys some stuff with it. We won't be doing any drifting with it or burnouts, launching. I mean, maybe one launch to see, but nothing that can like harm it. We'll just normally drive it around, do a couple pulls and stuff like that probably. I have a friend that's gonna do a really cool cinematic for this thing, so stay tuned for that. That'll be in a few weeks for sure. Definitely not a right away thing, but yeah, let us know what you want to see, what you want from this thing. And thank you for being a part of the journey. It means a lot to me. I know that seeing this thing on, like, in the progress of it and stuff and being filmed is cool for Buddy, the owner. So yeah, thank you guys a lot. And then I'm just gonna kind of go from the backstory on the whole car. So originally 318 IS from Germany, later swapped to an M52 B28, so a 328i motor. It did have like the other intake manifold and everything. It was a completely stock car. The interior was the exact same as it is right now. Yeah, so this is the interior. It's like a suede, or I don't know what this is, just regular fabric with leather inserts and then suede like sides. Those parts were supposed to be redone, I think, but I don't think they got redone. And then the headliner was redone with suede. The parcel shelf also suede, but I think it's just old faded suede. Same with the door cards. Wooden trim optioned, sunroof optioned. Obviously it doesn't have the panel there. So someone did put a 328i badge on it, and there was a really shitty cheap LTW wing that has been taken off, and this was supposed to get a carbon trunk, but he actually got scammed on the carbon trunk. He gave the guy like $1,000 or something like that, and the guy just stole his money, never shipped it. Apparently that dude has done some shit like that a couple times, so be careful when buying carbon pieces. But a carbon CSL style trunk would have looked so sick on this, and it was supposed to be like painted green as well to match the green. So it was a 328i. That's how Buddy bought it, with a Getrag transmission and small case diff. And then it kind of snowballed. Initially it got like new suspension, all the bushings done, and the brakes and stuff. And he drove it like maybe twice, and then he was like, I want a turbo. So then they started turboing the engine. They pulled the engine out, started building it, and then he decided he wanted an 8 HP as well. Trevor might have influenced him a little bit in his decision making. But so he got this engine. Our friend Andrew stripped everything out, painted the engine bay. Our friend Dominique started on the wiring harness. Everything got slowly put back together. And then that's kind of when like I joined the party, and you guys can see that in our first video. I joined the party and we started putting back together the engine, because the engine was still taken apart. We put together most of the turbo kit, the engine. It took a lot of time. There was a lot of parts missing, a lot of stuff that was supposed to be ordered that wasn't ordered, and that set us back a lot. Buddy was not the happiest person either about those things, and that's why I got hired anyway, is to kind of straighten everything out and make everything go more orderly. So this car was supposed to be done a long time ago, and it took a lot longer because of these kind of hiccups. So to begin with, coming from the USA and Canada, like, we hear about K64 a lot, and a lot of people say that it's a great kit and that like they vouch for them and stuff. It is an expensive kit though as well, or well, it's like a medium price range kit, not the cheapest kit, not the most expensive way to do it either. But all we're really using from that kit right now is, I think, the turbo manifold that also had to be modified for the wastegate and stuff. So either way, it still had to be cut, welded, and things like that. I don't think you can see where it was modified, but anyway, the turbo, and I think like this oil line stuff. And realistically, oh, we got the ECU master from K64 as well, I believe. So that, oh, the injectors came with it. We got that, a ghetto ass fuel pump that you'll see in the first video. That, yeah. And I think some of this vacuum line stuff, and like, I don't know, it was not the best kit. So that set us back a lot too. Even this, I had to make this so that it would go a little bit further down and actually protect like the valve cover, because the valve cover was melting. So we have a metal valve cover now from an M50. This is an M50 valve cover, metal. Metal. And the original one was plastic. It was melting, it was warped, it was pissing oil everywhere. We also didn't have a catch can, so now we have a catch can to catch the oil instead of dumping it on the ground in front of the front wheels. The radiator setup was changed like 3 times to get the right fan radiator and everything, and for it to actually, one, bleed, stay bled, and that stuff. The wastegate had to be removed about 4 or 5 times, and we ultimately replaced the wastegate. Replaced the wastegate for another, same one but good one. It's an 80mm or 60mm Turbo Works wastegate. The boost controller also had to be changed out after the first or second dyno section because it broke. The injectors, we were running the Siemens Deca 630s from K64, but we opted for these D-Works one, they're going to be 85 safe later on. 2, it allows us for more fueling options, pull more power out, safer power, and that low RPM stuff with the 8 HP is tough to tune without more competent injectors. The cheaper ones just were a little, like if you're drifting or something like that where you're mostly wide open throttle, that's fine. But for a daily driver where you're driving every day, you want injectors that have a lot more options and more linearity, or more like, I think it's more pulse per second or something like that, so that you can really scale out that low RPM stuff. Besides that, I mean, we put it together. It left Andrew's driving. Me and Andrew both didn't know how to do the transmission stuff, like how to properly put enough oil into it was the first thing. We were trying to pump it in as much as we could. It's supposed to take like 10 liters. It only took like 6. So at the very beginning, you will hear those issues and you'll see us diagnose and go through all that. We did end up figuring that out thanks to a different place that put the right amount of oil in, did a filter change or whatever, or a flush and top up, and now the transmission works great. It was also on 8HP 45 settings, or like a map for the TCU, because they didn't have the 8HP 70 software released yet. So now it's on the 8HP 70 software and it works awesome. The Turbo Lamic stuff is super cool, super complex. It runs off of the ECU Master ECU, and they just know everything from each other. This car still has ABS as well. I don't know how well the ABS works, but it does have ABS. So after all of that build process stuff, the trials and errors of the cooling system, the boost control setup and all that, we finally are at a point where the car works. It works good. We've tested it. We've taken it on some long drives. We've done some hard days with it, broke it a little bit more, fixed it again. And I mean, it's ready. It's ready for its next life. It's ready for its next step. It's ready for it to be enjoyed by Buddy. First thing he's going to do is get it tuned for USA gas, and then I hope he drives it a bit. I hope he just drives it and then later changes some stuff around, but he needs to get some miles in this thing. He needs to, because it is fun. It's a really fun car. And I know being in Texas, he's probably going to just turn it all the way up to max probably and just see what he... Like, if this thing's making like 500 in Texas, it'll be spinning those tires all day long. He'll be hitting the drag strip, I hope. That's what I like envision for this thing, at least, is like, he's in Texas, he gets some fucking drag radials on the back, and then just down the drag strip. I think this thing's like a solid 11, 12 second car, I think. I would bet something like that. Maybe we should get like that application draggy or something like that and try doing a quarter mile I don't know where we'd have a quarter mile though, where we can stop and do that. That is an issue, but I'll look into that because that'd be cool to test. Or just wait till it's in the USA and have him test that. So thank you guys for watching, for supporting this build, for supporting us, being a part of it, and all of that. There is a cool cinematic at the very end of this that you guys should wait and check out and watch. It's of a really nice Volkswagen Touring Jetta on bags. But besides that, thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting. Please hype the video after you like it too, because that helps a lot. Yeah, let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you want from the last video with this car. Oh, I'm the little big film photographer. Oh, what are you photographing?
Breeze, dancing. People gon' talk, but it won't change. Yeah, ay, keeping steady up in my own lane. Yeah, ay, bottle service up when I get paid. Yeah, ay, Casa de Amigo sit plante. Yeah, turn that shit up, caliente. Yeah, ay, kung fu, but I ain't your sensei. Yeah, ay, tore the shit down in my own way. Yeah, ay, I be getting bands, getting plenty. Pay for, wrist cold. Get that bag, I gon' take that shit home. Roll that blunt, I gon' smoke on my own. Get these bands, yo, we gon' roll. Pay for, wrist cold. Get that bag, I gon' take that shit home. Roll that blunt, I gon' smoke on my own. Smoking up pounds, yo, we gon' roll. Slide.